Tonight, history is being written not with ink, but with faith. A night where power meets humility, where leadership stands before the divine. Imagine the weight of this moment, where truth is acknowledged, where hearts are stirred, and where faith shines brighter than ever. This is not just another event, it's a defining moment, a call to reflect, to rise, and to embrace the wisdom that has guided millions for centuries. Stay with me, because what you're about to witness is more than a visit. It's a testament to the power of faith, unity, and truth. This is a night to remember. There are moments in history that transcend politics, culture, and even personal beliefs. Moments that remind us of something bigger than ourselves, the power of unity. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was not just a political gesture. It was a testament to something deeper. The undeniable connection between people, regardless of their backgrounds. In a world filled with division, unity feels like a distant dream. But on that historic night, the barriers that often separate communities melted away. Muslims and non-Muslims alike stood together in prayer, in peace, in understanding. Think about that for a moment, leaders, and everyday people, side by side, experiencing a sacred night of Ramadan. That's not just unity, that's history in the making. When we come together, something powerful happens. We begin to see each other as human beings, not headlines. We listen, we learn, and most importantly, we grow. And growth, my friends, is the foundation of wisdom and happiness. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt truly connected to something greater? When did you last step outside your comfort zone to understand someone else's journey? Because that's where real happiness lies, in understanding, in unity, in embracing the truth that we are stronger together than apart. For years, misconceptions have clouded the understanding of Islam. Many have viewed it through the lens of fear, misunderstanding, and media narratives that fail to capture its true essence. But Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih shattered a barrier. It was a moment that challenged perceptions and forced many to reconsider what they thought they knew. Islam is not a religion of division, but of peace. It is not a faith of oppression, but of discipline, devotion, and divine wisdom. And on that historic night, people who may have never stepped foot inside a mosque saw a different reality. They saw Muslims in prayer, men, women, and children bowing in humility before their Creator. They witnessed a faith rooted in discipline, love, and a deep commitment to truth. This is where we must pause and reflect. How often do we allow our minds to be shaped by others, rather than seeking the truth for ourselves? How many times do we accept a narrative without questioning its validity? The path to wisdom begins with seeking knowledge, and knowledge comes from first-hand experience. That night was a lesson for many. Islam is not what the world tells you it is what you see, what you witness, and what you feel when you stand among those who live it. If more people sought understanding rather than judgment, if more hearts opened to truth rather than fear, the world would be a better place. So I ask you, are you willing to see beyond the stories you've been told? Are you ready to seek truth for yourself? Because that, my friends, is the key to wisdom, and wisdom is the path to true happiness. In a world often divided by politics, race, and religion, unity can feel like an impossible dream. But on that night, something powerful happened. People from different backgrounds stood together under one roof, witnessing a faith rooted in peace, discipline, and truth. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was more than just an appearance. It was a moment where the barriers of misunderstanding were broken and unity took center stage. Islam teaches that humanity is one family, created by the same Creator. It does not judge based on wealth, power, or status. In the eyes of God, the most honored are those with the purest hearts and strongest character. That night, this truth became clear to all who were present. People weren't defined by their titles or political affiliations, but by their willingness to stand together in search of something greater: truth, peace, and understanding. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, how often do we let differences keep us apart? How many opportunities for connection do we miss because we focus on what separates us instead of what unites us? The reality is, happiness isn't found in division. True happiness comes when we embrace others with open hearts, when we seek understanding rather than conflict, and when we recognize that we are all part of a larger human family. That night proved that unity is possible. It showed that when people put aside their prejudices and approach one another with sincerity, they find something greater than themselves, a sense of belonging, a shared purpose, a glimpse of the divine. And isn't that what we all want? A life filled with meaning, love, and a connection that transcends the superficial? The path to happiness begins with unity, and that night was a shining example of what's possible. Sincerity is a rare quality in today's world. It is easy to say the right words, to put on a performance, to act as if we care. But true sincerity is something deeper. It is a reflection of the heart, a commitment to truth, and an unwavering dedication to what is right. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was not just about politics. It was a moment where sincerity was put to the test. Was this visit merely for optics, or was there a genuine desire to understand? That question lingered in the minds of many, but one truth remained. Islam values sincerity above all. Islam teaches that sincerity, ikhlas, is the foundation of faith. A prayer said without sincerity is just words. An act of kindness done for recognition loses its true value. The Quran reminds us, and they were not commanded except to worship Allah, being sincere to Him in religion, 98:5. Sincerity is the key to a fulfilled and happy life because it removes the burden of deception and allows us to live in alignment with truth. Now take a moment to reflect. How often do we act with sincerity? Do we seek knowledge to grow or just to impress? Do we help others out of love or to be seen as generous? True happiness comes when we live without pretense, when our words and actions reflect our innermost values. The night of Trump's visit was a reminder that sincerity matters. It is not about appearances, it is about what is real. And in the presence of sincere faith, even the hardest hearts can soften. Even the most divided people can find common ground. And even the most broken souls can find their way back to happiness. There is immense power in unity. When people come together with a common purpose, when hearts beat as one in faith and devotion, something extraordinary happens. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was not just a political event. It was a moment that highlighted the undeniable strength of a united Muslim community. In a world that often seeks to divide, the sight of believers standing shoulder to shoulder in prayer was a powerful reminder of the beauty of Islamic brotherhood and sisterhood. Islam teaches us that unity is not just an option, it is a necessity. The Quran states, "And hold firmly to the rope of Allah altogether and do not become divided." 3. This is not just a call for religious harmony, it is a blueprint for a meaningful, happy life. When we are divided, we are weak. When we stand together, we are unbreakable. The world tries to make us believe that happiness is found in personal success, in isolation, in individual achievement. But true happiness is found in community, in shared purpose, in knowing that you are never alone. Now think for a moment, how often do we let differences separate us? How many times have we allowed ego, pride, or misunderstandings to break relationships? Islam teaches us to rise above these things. The unity displayed during that historic Tarawih night was a lesson for us all. It showed that faith transcends politics, that coming together in prayer is a statement of strength, and that real happiness is found when we support one another. The world will always try to pull us apart, but when we remember our shared faith, our shared humanity, and our shared purpose, we become unstoppable. And that is where true wisdom and joy begin. Truth is a force that stands tall, even in the midst of deception. In a world where misinformation spreads faster than light, holding on to truth becomes an act of courage. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was more than just a political statement. It was a moment that reminded us of the undeniable power of truth in Islam. When the world distorts the image of Muslims, when narratives are twisted to divide us, we must stand firm in our faith and let the light of truth shine. Islam is built upon truth. The Quran says, and say, truth has come and falsehood has departed. Indeed, falsehood is bound to depart, 1781. This is not just a verse, it is a guiding principle for life. The more we embrace truth, the more we free ourselves from the chains of ignorance and fear. People often search for happiness in material things, but real happiness comes from living in alignment with truth, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and never compromising your values. Pause for a moment and reflect. How often do we let the opinions of others dictate our lives? How many times have we silenced our beliefs just to fit in? Islam teaches us that true wisdom is standing firm in righteousness, even when the world pushes against us. That historic night of Tarawih was a testament to this. It showed that no matter how much falsehood tries to cloud reality, the truth will always emerge victorious. The key to a life of happiness is not in pleasing the world, but in living by the eternal truth of faith. The more we align ourselves with it, the more fulfilled, fearless, and truly wise we become. There is something deeply powerful about unity, when people stand together, driven by faith, love, and truth. Trump's visit to NYC Tarawih was not just a political moment. It was a reminder that faith has the power to bring people together beyond race, nationality, or background. Islam has always been a religion of unity, a faith that binds hearts and souls with a shared purpose, the pursuit of truth, wisdom, and ultimate happiness. Think about this. In a world that constantly tries to divide us, faith is the anchor that holds us firm. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The believers are like a single body. When one part feels pain, the entire body suffers." This is the essence of Islamic brotherhood, standing together, lifting each other up, and refusing to let the forces of division break us apart. Pause for a moment. Have you ever felt disconnected from the people around you? Have you ever longed for a sense of belonging that goes beyond temporary relationships? The truth is, we are stronger together, and nothing unites the heart more than faith. The Tarawih gathering in New York City was a symbol of this strength. It reminded us that no matter the external challenges, the spirit of Islam remains unshaken. Unity through faith is the key to happiness. When we embrace our faith fully, we stop feeling lost. We find purpose, we find family, we find strength in knowing that we are never alone. Islam teaches us to rise above differences, to build bridges, and to walk this journey of life together with wisdom, love, and unwavering faith. This night was more than a visit. It was a statement of faith, unity, and truth. It reminded us that Islam stands tall, unshaken, and full of wisdom. In a world searching for meaning, we hold the key: faith that brings peace, unity that strengthens, and truth that liberates. Let this moment ignite a renewed sense of purpose in your heart. Stand firm in your faith, seek wisdom, and spread goodness. May you walk with strength, guided by truth and light. Thank you for being part of this journey. Stay blessed, stay strong, and may Allah grant you happiness.